What's up? Today I thought we could talk about my marriage. We haven't talked about it since I got married. I did like our honeymoon vlog and questions that you guys had, answered questions with Daisy on our small wedding and all of that. So I thought today I could talk about what has changed since getting married. I wrote down a long list on my phone of everything that has changed since we got married, and I talked to Daisy about it before to make sure that she didn't think of anything else that might have changed. So hopefully this is everything. I guess the first part that I want to talk about is logistics. Obviously, when people get married, a lot of times they change their name, they make joint bank accounts, they get on each other's phone bills and insurance plans and all of that. And that never changed for us. We didn't make any joint accounts really. Yeah, we just didn't blend any of our accounts. We might in the future. We talked about doing like our insurance and our health plan and all of that together. But at the moment, we have good rates for our insurance and everything, and we just haven't really thought about changing any of it. So we haven't done that yet. That could be in the future, something that might change. But at the moment, none of that has changed. So that was something that didn't really change, but something that has changed really for the better is the way that we get into arguments or bickerments. Obviously, this sounds really bad, but when you are dating and say you aren't married or you aren't in a long-term committed relationship, you kind of always have it in the back of your mind that you can leave at any point. What has changed for me is in these bickerments or arguments, I always have love at the forefront of every single bickerment. And Daisy, I talked about this list with Daisy before, and she said the exact same thing, that when we are bickering, the first thing that I think about is how can we get through this as easily as possible. Even if we disagree, how can we come to an agreement? How can we find peace in our differences? And it comes from a place of love. It doesn't come from a place of anger ever. And just the way we bicker is different because we are in this for the long run, because we decided to get married. We decided to do this for the rest of our lives. So our bickerments and our arguments have changed. You can just feel the love even when we disagree. Not that it was ever bad before, but I think it just feels like we aren't arguing, we aren't fighting, we're in this together and we're trying to find harmony, we're trying to find a solution that works for both of us, even when we disagree. The next thing is time management and how we share our calendar. So we obviously have our own personal lives, but we also now have, responsibilities and things that we have to do together. We can really choose as much time as we want to spend together because a lot of the times we are both working from home, but we do choose to have our own schedules and our own calendar. How we like to manage our time is we like to have time for each of these following categories. We like to have time for work, working out, home responsibilities, friendships, time for ourselves, and time for each other. There are things that, like I said, that we do together, but for the most part, we try to stick to a routine where Monday through Friday, we kind of have our own schedules and our own, plans for the week. And then at the end of each day, we come together and we go for a walk together, or we go out for dinner, or we watch a movie together. We do something together at the end of the day. For the most part, we try to plan our Monday through Friday week as two separate people, and we're not just doing everything together. And then the weekends, we like to plan things together. Each week looks a little bit differently, but we try to keep each other updated on our schedules, and we like to put in things that we do together onto both of our calendars so that we know, okay, we're going on this trip together. Both of us know what day and what time it is. And the reason why this changed in our marriage is because in the beginning of our relationship, we spent basically all of our time together. The only times we would really spend separately was when we were working. So I think what's really changed is that we now prioritize our time slightly different, and we try to have more time for all of the categories. That way we have a well-balanced life. All right, the next section is holidays. And this is a section that I feel like we're still kind of learning and figuring out. We got married only 3 months ago, so we haven't really had to deal with the holidays in our marriage yet. And obviously as our family grows, like if we decide to have kids, which probably won't be for a very, very long time, then our holidays would have to look a little differently as well. Some things to keep in mind when I talk about the holidays is my mom's birthday falls normally right around Thanksgiving. So it's either the day before, the day of, or the day after most of the time. And this year it's the day of Thanksgiving, obviously because Thanksgiving changes every year. Not because my mom's birthday changes. Daisy's dad's birthday is on Christmas. So we kind of have decided that we will spend the holidays in that way, where we will see my mom for her birthday and for Thanksgiving. And then we'll for sure see Daisy's dad for his birthday and Christmas. And what we did last year was that we spent Christmas with both of our families. Both of our families came to us, since both of our families don't live very close. They both traveled to us, and then we did things together as a group, but we also did things individually with our families. And I think that worked out really well for us. Obviously that is gonna look differently, like I said, when we have kids, but like I also said, it won't be for a really long time. We still plan to see both of our families this holiday season and make time for both of them. And one year we definitely want to travel to see Daisy's family, the family that can't come out here during the holidays. We definitely want to go there and visit them as well. And I think what we'll probably end up doing is just doing a trade-off. One year we do it with my family, one year we do it with hers, and hopefully do it together like we did last year as well. Another section is the home chores. And we lived together before we got married, so a lot of the household chores didn't really change after we got married, besides one of them, which I will get to. We kind of already had a system in place when it came to household chores. The thing that changed is Daisy started to love to vacuum, because we got a brand new vacuum from our friends Julie and Amanda as a wedding gift, and Daisy's obsessed with the vacuum, so she kind of took over that household chore. And the way we separate our chores are Daisy's chores, my chores, and the chores we do together. And it worked out kind of well, because we just naturally have chores that we gravitate towards, and they are two different chores. So what I like to do is the dishwasher, mopping, and also dusting. Daisy likes to do laundry and vacuuming. And then together we like to do the bathroom and all the trash we take out normally together. Another thing Daisy kind of gets to do is the cooking, a lot of the cooking, because she's just naturally more talented at it, and she actually really enjoys it. I cook sometimes, just not as much as her, so then I'll do the dishes when she cooks. But also, we kind of cook for ourselves. We don't always have meals together. I would say the majority of our meals we don't have together, and then dinner we normally have together, and sometimes we don't even. We'll have two different things because we crave different things and because our diets are different. The next part of this is date nights, and date nights probably need a little more love. We used to do a date every month or so, and we would trade off. Like, I would take her on a date one month, and then she would take me on a date the next month. And we do go out to eat a lot, but I wouldn't say they are dates, because sometimes we go with friends or it'll be an impromptu thing. But we haven't really recently, since we got married, had much time to plan out a date. We do like to go get ice cream together, so that's been kind of our little like date night treat sometime. But yeah, I really do want to go back to every other month swapping dates. I think that was a really fun way to prioritize our relationship and do something for each other. We used to do that a lot more, so I think that's something we could work on. And it is something that has changed, is that we just haven't had so much time for our date nights. And the last section is probably the section that I feel like most people think change when you get married, is the budgeting and your money management. So as I said, we have separate accounts. We have not joined any of our accounts, whether that's like bank accounts or anything really. And I do think it's important to have our own separate accounts and our separate savings and our separate all of that, just because we are completely different people. We don't need everything to be together just because we got married. And we also spend differently. We have different budgets for our spending, but we know each other's budgets. We talk about money and we talk about how much we can spend on certain things. We do split bills and we split groceries and stuff like that. We talk about it. We just choose not to combine our accounts, so that never changed after getting married. So after getting married, our money management or budgeting hasn't really changed like together. Maybe it's changed separately, like we both are working towards different goals or whatever, but we also have goals that we're working towards together. Something that has changed is we have talked about getting a joint bank account that we both contribute money to towards our joint goals. It's like buying a house and things like that. So we have talked about getting that, and that will be something that will change in the near future. We just haven't done it yet. One thing that we didn't do after getting married is rush to join all of our accounts and like make everything just this one single unit. We still are two different people, and we spend money differently, we make money differently, and we don't need everything to be together, but we do have goals together that we want to accomplish. So we are thinking about how we want to do that and how we want to blend our lives a little more, but that's something that hasn't really changed. So those are some things that have and haven't changed in our relationship since we got married. Please let me know if you're married and if anything has changed in your marriage that you would like to share in the comments. I would love to hear all about it and chat in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this video by giving it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.